Hello, my name is Bailey Grace. Today we are going to be talking to Matt Davies, a digital transformation lead at PGPA, about the NHS app and how it can be beneficial for teens and young adults. Hi Matt.
Hi Bailey Grace.
What exactly is the NHS app and who can use it?
So the NHS App is a free service from NHS England that lets you access NHS services from your smartphone or your tablet. You'd need to be 13 or older and registered with a GP in England or the Isle of Man. Ages 13 to 15 may need GP approval for some features.
What can you actually do with the NHS app that's useful for teenagers or young adults?
Quite a lot actually for starters. You can order your repeat prescriptions and nominate a pharmacy so you don't need to phone or go in person. You can view and cancel your GP or hospital appointments, meaning that there's no need to wait on hold, making it easier to schedule around your school, work or family life. You can view parts of your health record, so that could be your allergies, medicines, test results. This just helps you keep track of your health without needing to call or visit the surgery. You can also get quick advice if you're unsure about any symptoms using built-in NHS advice or online services via the app. You can support other people's care, so that could be younger siblings, children or relatives through the linked profiles or proxy access feature in the app. So depending on your GP surgery, you could get access to another person's record. That could include managing their appointments or ordering their prescriptions on their behalf. It is important to note though that all this depends on what your GP practice or hospital allows. So ordering repeat prescriptions, viewing your health record and accessing health advice are mandatory features. So you should expect to see those when you go onto the NHS app. The ability to manage your appointments, there are some things that are switched off depending on the practice or the hospital. So personally, I feel that is a lot better than sitting on a phone queue for half an hour in the morning. It's something that I use, and really it's almost a way of booking appointments through the NHS app.
For a busy teen or young adult, why might the NHS app make life easier compared with traditional NHS access like phone calls, letters or visits?
I'd just say it's much more convenient really and fits how young people tend to do things really. So you don't have to call at 8 a.m. when the surgery's open. You can book or you can request things on your own time via your phone. So it's often a lot less stressful doing that sort of thing, especially if you're juggling school or work. It reduces the chance of losing letters, forgetting appointments or missing messages. Everything's just stored in one place with notifications. Having easy access to your health records and test results could help you stay on top of your own health. It's useful if you manage chronic conditions, mental health, or if you just want to understand what your GP is talking about. For people who care for younger siblings or relatives, proxy access means that you could look after their health too, which is especially relevant if you're a young carer. It's private and it's discreet, so you won't need to make any awkward phone calls for sensitive topics like mental health or sexual health. Instead, you could just use an online form on your phone. So generally, I would say it's a lot more convenient. I would personally say it's something that I prefer to use really than the traditional methods.
How might the NHS app help if you're a young carer?
If you're a young carer, the NHS app would make managing someone's health much easier. So you can just request proxy access with your GP approval to link their profile to your app. This means you can order prescriptions, view health records, manage appointments on their behalf. It saves time and stress because you don't have to juggle phone calls or paperwork. If you turn on notifications and reminders, it can help you stay organised so you don't miss important appointments or medication refills. It's private and secure, so you can just manage their care confidently without worrying about data safety or security.
For someone new to the NHS app, what's the first thing you'd recommend doing and why?
I would massively encourage you to start exploring your health record. It's one of the most useful features just because it gives you an overview of your health. Things like your conditions, allergies, medications and test results, all those details are all on the NHS app for you to have a look through. Taking a few minutes to look through it can help you feel informed and in control of your own healthcare. When you understand what's in your record, you're better prepared for appointments and can make decisions with confidence. It's also a great way to check that everything's accurate and complete. So if you notice something that should be on your record that's missing, like a condition or medication that should be listed, you can raise it with your GP. Making sure your record's up to date is crucial for improving your care, ensuring that your doctor has the full picture.
Are there any age-related or privacy hurdles for young people using the app?
Yes, there are a few important ones. So if you are under 16 and you'd want access to your own health information, you would need a competency assessment by a GP before you can view it. If you're over 16, then you can just access your information easily without any extra checks. A parent or guardian can access your record without consent up to the age of 11, but between 11 and 15 they would need your consent to do so. Then the app requires you to verify your identity as well, which is part of a highly thorough security process. Once you're set up, the app uses two-factor authentication, making it one of the most secure applications out there, which makes sense obviously because it gives you access to your health data. Your health data isn't actually stored in the NHS app, so whether you have the NHS app or not, it doesn't actually change anything about where your data is held. So the registration process can feel a bit long-winded and a bit of a pain, but it is obviously for good reason. It is all about protecting your privacy.
What about young people who don't have photo ID like a passport or provisional driving licence?
So normally signing up involves proving who you are with an accepted photo ID. That is the usual route to signing up for the NHS app. The things that are permitted are a passport, driving licence or a European residence permit. So it does mean that you won't be able to sign up using things like student cards or bus passes or anything like that. It is just those three methods. But the NHS does provide an alternative route for people who don't have a photo ID via your GP surgery. So if you're registered with a GP in England, obviously, the route is maybe a little bit more complicated if you don't have photo ID. To do it, you'd have to contact your GP surgery reception, request registration details for online services. If you do this in the GP surgery, staff should be able to help you. They'll be on hand to help you.
Can the NHS app help reduce barriers for young people accessing health services, especially for mental health or sensitive issues?
Absolutely, I would say so, because it's discreet, private and accessible at any time. It's a great tool for young people who might feel anxious or reluctant to call or visit in person. You can check when your appointments are if you ever forget and cancel them through the app if you make them. Avoid big waits or awkward phone calls by contacting the practice online rather than calling them. And then you could manage your prescriptions or follow-ups privately, which can feel a bit more manageable. This kind of convenience and control can make a big difference, especially around sensitive issues like mental health, sexual health, changing medications, routine checkups, things that young people might hesitate to do otherwise.
I've heard the NHS app is expanding what their app can do, what's coming, and why does that matter for young people?
Yes, the app is evolving. The organisation behind it, NHS England, describes it as the digital front door to the NHS. There's planned and ongoing improvements, including easier booking and managing of all kinds of appointments, GP, hospital, specialist appointments, better integration of prescriptions, so you're tracking orders, notifications when your prescriptions are ready, and reminders. It's the sort of thing that you'd expect if you would just get a parcel in the post. And that's just the start, really. The NHS app is a major part of the current government's 10-year plan, which includes integration with wearables like Fitbits, Apple Watches and Garmin's, all those kinds of gadgets, so it can link in with your step count and sleep quality to give you more personalised advice. There's a new My GP function which is coming, where you can get in touch about your symptoms anytime and receive advice for non-urgent care using AI algorithms. A similar tool as well called My Children, giving parents tailored advice and support for their children's health. For a generation used to doing everything digitally on their phone, the NHS app is becoming a really powerful way to interact with the health system anytime, anywhere and on your own terms.
What are some limitations or things the NHS app doesn't always fix?
Good question. I would point out that some GP surgeries or hospitals may not have all the features enabled, so you might not see full records or be able to book certain appointments. It does depend on the practice. If you're under 16, there may obviously be extra steps to get access. You might need a competency assessment from a GP before accessing your record. The app also can't replace urgent or emergency care. It is great for routine things, obviously, prescriptions, appointments, health records on there. But if you need emergency help, you should still call 999 or go to A&E. I would definitely stress that. Some people might also feel worried about privacy. Even though the app is secure and requires login and verification, it still obviously handles sensitive data. So it is good to treat it like a private space. So make sure you lock your phone, use secure logins. The app is currently only in English. For those who struggle to read or understand English, this obviously can be a barrier. There are plans to add more languages in the future. In the meantime, though, you could access the app on a computer and use tools like Google or Microsoft Translate. And then also to manage someone else's care, you would need to be registered at the same GP surgery as them.
How can we make sure every young person knows about the NHS app and how to use it properly?
Great question. Honestly, the best way is through word of mouth and sharing experiences. So if you found the app useful, I would recommend telling your friends about it and show people how easy it is to use. On the NHS side, there is a big push too. I'm personally delivering training sessions myself for GP surgery staff across Calderdale so they fully understand the app and can support patients. There's also an NHS App ambassador scheme where people working in the NHS app come together to share ideas and promote the app in communities. So if you want to help, start small, mention it to your friends, family, or even your school, college or uni. The more people know it's free, secure and makes life easier, the more they'd give it a try.
Finally, can you sum up why a young person should sign up for the app?
Number one, it puts your health in your hands, so you can view your medical information, check your test results and keep track of medications without needing to call your GP or wait for letters. Number two, it's easier to book and manage appointments, so no more stressing about phoning the surgery at 8 a.m. You can check and cancel and may be able to book appointments straight from your phone whenever it suits you. Number three, ordering prescriptions becomes simple. If you rely on regular medication, you can order repeats in a few taps and choose your preferred pharmacy without joining any queues, signing any forms, anything like that. Number four, it's private, secure and discreet. You can manage your health without anyone else seeing or overhearing phone calls, especially useful for sensitive topics like mental health or sexual health. Number five, it helps you get accurate, trusted advice. The app links directly to NHS verified health guidance, helping you understand symptoms and decide what to do next without doom scrolling on Google or even any of the AI platforms now, ChatGPT, anything like that. And finally, number six, it's perfect for busy lives. So whether you're juggling school, work, college or caring responsibilities, the app saves time and makes dealing with the NHS way less stressful.
Thank you so much for coming in, Matt, and telling us about the NHS app. I hope everyone found that as interesting as I did.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
You can find lots of interesting podcasts on a variety of subjects by exploring the useful podcast section on the Destination web app. Search destination.org.uk. You can also find them on Apple, Spotify or YouTube. If you would like to know more information about the NHS app, please check the podcast description. I'd like to thank VAC in Calderdale for their support, Jimi for editing and Youth Social for producing.